Mutants on the auction block? That's right, we're talking Wolverine number 38, bub. Today on The Newest Mutant! Before we get to the story, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. And my new year resolution is for you to hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And with that, let's get started on Wolverine number 38. Our story begins at a bar in Manhattan where Steve Rogers, the man also known as Captain America, is playing a round of pool. As he's about to sink the 8-ball, a man stops him. That man? The Wolverine. Logan buys Cap a beer and the two sit down. Wolverine would like Captain America's help. And Cap knows Wolverine wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. And so we cut to somewhere in the Pacific where an Orcus cargo vessel is hauling, well, cargo. Cap and Wolverine are taking a small motorboat to the larger craft and sneak up onto the side. As they climb, Wolverine is thinking about his days fighting in World War II and how he's known Captain America for a very long time. He also knows what's on this ship. It's stuff that the mutants left behind on Krakoa, and it's off to be studied and inventoried by Orcus. Not enough, not if Wolverine can help it, of course. When they arrive on the bridge of the ship, they find everyone has already been slaughtered. Captain America finds a bullet for a .454, and he says it came from a revolver, and it's a pretty light weapon for taking out heavily armed and trained security forces. Back outside on the deck of the boat, they find that the shipping containers are empty. The heist got heisted, and that's when someone starts shooting at them. Logan takes a bullet, and Cap asks, "Are you okay?" Wolverine is like, "You don't need to ask me that." Cap throws his shield at a guard and really does a number on him, and they're able to ask him who attacked the ship. He says cowboys, and Logan is pretty sure he knows who and where they are. Later, on another vessel, Cap and Wolverine are sneaking onto this boat that is seemingly filled with wealthy people. Two of the cowboys hand out a numbered paddle to some of the customers, I guess, like the type you'd find at an auction. Wolverine and Cap throw them overboard and put on their uniforms. We cut to the interior of the boat and we find that there is an auction going on. Wolverine is having a hard time wearing the cowboy outfit. Cap says not everyone is shaped like a box. They discuss plans to try and be quiet, but Cap realizes this is going to end loudly. This is when the auction begins, and a variety of items are up on the auction block, and they include things like Magneto's helmet, Cyclops' visor, and Emma Frost's corset. One of the guards spots Steve with Captain America's shield, of course, and thinks that it's an auction item. He chases Wolverine and Cap backstage. And that is where they are shocked by the types of inventory that have been taken from the X-Men and the mutants off of Krakoa. Wolverine tells Captain America to stop the auction, and he'll handle the rest. That makes Captain America nervous. First up on the auction block, however, is a dead and depowered clone of Moira McTaggart. Unfortunately, Captain America rushes the stage and ends the auction. Well, fortunately, maybe. We cut to a cutaway view of the ship, and it shows the battle ensuing with Captain America in the auction room. Meanwhile, Wolverine has finished up his work in the storage room and then claws his way to the bottom of the ship and makes a big hole. And this is why I love this book, because a bunch of rich people get Titanicked. It's wonderful. The ship starts to go down, and as it's going down, Wolverine's inner monologue talks about him and Cap as siblings raised in the same house that turned out very different. Weapons created by their governments, yet Captain America was determined to do good. Meanwhile, Wolverine is a bundle of scars and rage, resentment, and suspicion. He thinks that they work well together because they balance each other out. And so we cut to the Catskills in New York with Nick Fury Jr., and Captain America is asking him to store the stolen mutant goods from the auction and keep them off the books. Fury was happy with Cap asking him because some of those items needed to be kept out of the wrong hands. He asks Cap if he thinks the mutants are coming back, and Cap says the good guys always come back. and history is on their side.
And that's the book!
This is the part of the episode where I like to thank you for making it this far, and I always love to ask a question about the comic we just read. And I would love, more Captain America and Wolverine series where they, share screen time together. And I know they've done some, but how about a cool limited series? What do you think? Who would be a good companion for Wolverine in a limited series? Let me know in the comments. But now,
back to the show!
Okay, time now to give credit where credit is due. First, let's check out the Michael Cho variant issue cover that I have right here. It is for the 60th birthday of the X-Men. Very rad homage throwback cover. But let's also look at the Leinil Francis Yu and Romulo Fajardo Jr. cover for the A cover. It's right here. Awesome. Very good cover. Our writer for the book is Benjamin Percy. Artist is Juan Jose Reap. Color artist is Frank D. Armata. And our letterer is Corey Petit. And as always, C.B. Cebulski is our editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. I don't have a lot of major takeaways from Wolverine books in general. Most of the time, the story is, a one-off and is finished in the single issue, and Wolverine moves on to his next destination. However, the idea that there is a horde of mutant-related plunder sitting in the Catskills under Nick Fury Jr.'s watchful eye, especially the idea that a clone of Moira is one of these items, I just see that as a thread or, for another story that should be pulled on later. Maybe it'll become an important plot point in the future. I don't think we want to forget about this cachet of mutant goods and items and plunder, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But enough with my takeaways. It's time for my 3 favorite panels. And my third favorite panel from this book belongs to the sinking of the Titanic, or whatever this ship is called. Nothing like a lot of rich people running for their lives to really get me interested in your art. I jest, sort of. But I do love this multi-panel full-page artwork. Enjoy it. My second favorite panel goes to this image of the boat where they do like a cutaway of some of the layers, and you can see how Wolverine and Cap are dealing with the auction. I just love how Wolverine claws his way down to the bottom of the ship and sinks it. Brilliant strategy, Logan. But my favorite panel belongs to the auctioneer displaying several of the mutants' fat loots. He is reveling in the sale of stolen artifacts. Also, it's fun to figure out what each item is if you don't know. Pretty neat. Check it out. Cool art. And that's the show. But before I go, I always love to show off a comic from my collection that is at least somewhat related to the book we discussed. And what I have here, well, it's one I actually purchased today. It's Captain America number 5 with a Wolverine variant cover honoring 50 years of Wolverine. Jim Rugg does a Jack Kirby-inspired variant here. It is beautiful. He is my favorite character of all time. So check it out, look at it, enjoy it. Next time, we'll be talking The Invincible Iron Man number 11 on
The Newest Mutants!